Hey everyone, the market broke out to all-time highs today, promptly rejected, and still hovering here around this decision point level that we've been watching over the last several weeks. We've come back into this 562 to 564 range. You can see on our gamma exposure levels here, the 564 and 565 are the next two major levels that we want to sustain a move above. Beyond that, the 570 is the key level that we're watching for. So tomorrow's FOMC, Sean, I know you're going to talk a little bit about the decision point on the charts that we're seeing. Of course, it makes sense here, coming to a huge FOMC meeting like tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Not only is it the Fed decision day, it's also VIX expiration in the morning. So if we look at where the VIX stands, from a gamma standpoint, we have this negative VIX at 17 and actually even 18. So with all this gamma rolling off in the morning, we're going to see what happens with volatility becoming a little bit less pinned, as they would say. And we'll see how dealers arrange their hedges tomorrow and in coming days. So sometimes when you get the VIX expiration, you can see the VIX move around a little bit more as the gamma rolls off.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to be watching, Sean. And, if we just look here at the chart, we go back to the July 15th timeframe, this is like the 6th or 7th time where we've actually hit these levels here. So it's just funny how it works. It's like the stars align for these big major market events. And, we tried to poke out of this resistance zone today. It failed, as I mentioned earlier, and everything is just lining up here for a potential move either into this 570 level, or if the market really doesn't like what the Fed has to say, there's a potential for a big drop that all the way down to the 550 level. That won't necessarily happen tomorrow, but that could be the next level, into Friday or something if the market really has a bad reaction. So 2 to 2.5% lower from here.
Yeah, good points, Anthony. One thing I was looking at on my chart, we have, and this matches up with the gamma levels too. I have Keltner channels, which are these blue lines, and then I also have the whole moving average, which is this lavender color here. And I find these to be a pretty useful indicator for my purposes. So yeah, of course, all this said, we're actually right in the middle of this upper and lower channel or the middle channel as well. It really leaves people guessing. But it could be argued that this is some sort of a double top or, triple top if you want to go back here. I'm kind of inclined to think, given the gamma we see at 5750, wouldn't it surprise me to see at least a temporary spike up close to this line?
Yeah, that's right, Sean. Now I'm looking at the sector heat map for today. The performance for today was mostly led by mega cap tech stocks and financials leading the way. Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Google, even Apple getting in there a little bit. And then the financials, Bank of America, JP Morgan, and so on. We saw a lot of weakness, though, throughout the rest of the market. The rest of retail, healthcare, a lot of the names that we've been seeing leading over the last several weeks, not doing so well today. If we zoom out and just look at the last week, we can get a little bit of a better picture to see what really has been leading the market over the past week. And so let's drill down into a few of these names here and just see what the gamma exposure levels are looking like heading into the FOMC meeting. So the first name I'm looking at is NVIDIA. NVIDIA closing right around the 115 level. You can see over the last couple of weeks, NVIDIA trading down here near the 100 level. This is actually one of our dealer cluster zones where the largest negative gamma exposure is sitting. We didn't quite tag that level and rally. This is classic gamma exposure behavior. Market participants closing out puts, dealers coming in, exacerbating the move to the upside on this reversal. We go all the way back into the upper dealer cluster zone, which currently is at the 120 strike. And so this was a pretty big move over the last couple of weeks for NVIDIA. And now we've just been kind of faltering here back down to this 115 level. So if the market has a rally after after the FOMC meeting, these large gamma exposure levels up here at the 125 and the 130 strike are really going to start playing a much bigger role. We also see some pretty sizable volume coming in here today at these levels as well. And just zooming out here on the chart, you can see this 130 level was actually a really big level here at the end of July and into August. The market had a really big rally, and Nvidia traded in this range for quite some time. So it wouldn't be surprising to see another leg higher into that 130 strike for Nvidia.
Yeah, good points on that one, Anthony. I wanted to point out Texas Instruments, TXN, which has a nice, solidly positive gamma. We have this GEX cluster at 210. If we scroll up here, we have different levels identified on our chart that are backed by GEX, and that also, that includes the 210 and also even 220 above that. So, that part looks good. Let's take a quick look at the chart. We have basically prices right between the whole moving average, holding above that, which is bullish. We are below the middle Keltner, but if we make it to 210, that's going to take us somewhere up here. And of course, 220 would be closer to the top of the channel. So, but this consolidation to me looks bullish. I mean, we had this push up here, consolidation, and it wouldn't surprise me even if we come back a little bit to see this thing try to push higher at least one more time. So Keltners are turned upward.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Next, I want to take a look at Meta. Meta coming right back into the 540 level, which was a big level several weeks ago. This is also the zero gamma level, which is a big key indicator to determine whether we are flipping into positive or negative gamma exposure territory. And so we had actually sold several weeks ago, we sold the 520, 517 and a half put credit spread on Meta. We're looking to close those out tomorrow. We were selling the September 20th expiration. So we've nearly reached our maximum profit there. But what really interests me about Meta going into October is this large gamma exposure concentration here at the 575 strike. That would be a huge move for Meta if it can get up there to that level. And so I'm looking at potentially some sort of call debit spread, potentially the 550 to 580 call debit spread that give us 30 points of exposure to a move in Meta. So that's something we're going to be discussing tomorrow and Thursday about putting on in our portfolio in our community Discord. I'll put a link down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. But another interesting point that I also like about Meta is the volume coming in here today. Big volume here at the 550 strike, the 545 strike, and the 540 strike. So this is all above where price has been trading today. And so, this is significant volume coming in here in the options market. And so I like that other market participants are positioning for an upward move. I think that just gives it more credence to, the possibility that demand is here at these levels for Meta. Sean, what else are you looking at?
Well, sticking with our tech theme, I was looking at Apple, which the Magnificent Seven have kind of switched places in terms of leadership. We had Microsoft kind of leading the way and some of the others. Well, Apple's been sort of weaker lately, but I like that we still have gamma, which is nicely positive here. We have the 220 strike and focus. And if we're going to go over to the chart, I wouldn't, I'm not just thinking it's a huge home run here, but I do think we have a pretty good shot at seeing this 217 area around the whole moving average. Maybe we could come up to the middle Keltner channel. And if the market's going to have any kind of upward push tomorrow, I would expect Apple to participate. And it's closer to this bottom Keltner than the top. Even here where it overshot the lower channel, that was the beginning of a big move back up to retest the top channel way up here. So that's the other one I had on my list.
Thanks for that, Sean. Hey, if you guys are interested in accessing our gamma exposure dashboard and our option flow analytics, head over to geeksoffinance.com. We've got several different membership tiers. You can check that out. You can also get free access to our community Discord. I'll put a link down in the description below. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.